What's up, guys? That's just another David talk. So let's just make this very casual. I'm chatting with you, but the weird thing is that I know that you guys are not going to be able to respond unless you are commenting on the comment section. But otherwise, I just feel like it was just going to be me that's been here, blah, 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 all the time. Okay. So let's just make it that way. And in this video, I would just want to bring something interesting to you guys. Time and time again, you find yourselves or other people when you are talking to them, you realize that those who are described as spiritual has kind of like a spiritual vibe. And one of the spiritual vibe that they have is that they tend to express less. They tend to be more like a monk, like, oh, money, money, oh, that kind of things, right? At one short period of time, I was kind of like that too. So I was like, when some people challenge me in some ways, and I really feel that really deep and inside. That's the first thing. That's actually one of the most important. And the other thing is, on the surface, I was always telling myself that, yeah, bro, just be non-reactive about it. It's okay. I go to nightclubs. People do all kinds of, have all kinds of dramatic stuff going on, or people say something that most majority of the time will make other people super angry. But I just didn't feel any of those. And at one point, I just feel like I don't have any feelings about them anymore. I was like, it's just some words. It's okay. Just let it be. Until one time, my friend was, we were chatting about something, and he was very emotional in that moment. I was like, man, are you being kind of reactive? And he just started yelling at me. He said, do you know why? This is actually why you are fucked up with your relationship with your woman. And I was shocked. I was like, huh? And he said, being expressive has nothing to do with being reactive. Expression has nothing to do with reaction. And that was the moment I was like, aha. It's as if even before he started explaining anything to me, things already start to clear. Because I was already in the phase where I started hiding my, not hiding, but it's just like kind of holding back or bury my emotions, because I link the emotions, or, I link the expressions of my emotions with reactions. I thought they are equivalent to each other. So one of the things that when I was learning to ground myself, of course, obviously, to most other people, most naked eyes, they will think I, as a man, I'm being grounded. I'm very centered when I'm communicating with people. But not until that point did I realize that I have already slowly, gradually walked into a kind of a dangerous area where I started cutting my feelings. We are all human beings. Feeling things is most natural things. Emotions is who we are. You have the emotions. Animals have emotions. We humans, it doesn't matter how, when, and how further we evolve. As far as evolution goes, the emotions are going to be there, So expressing your emotions, it does not necessarily mean you're reactive. When I say does not necessarily mean, what do I mean by that? Most majority of the time, it is actually true that when you express yourself, there's ego in it. There's reactions inside. But with the right amount of, or disciplined spiritual practice, the right way of practice, you'll be able to get rid of more and more of your reactions and leaving behind more and more of the true expressions with your emotions. A pure expression, it is just expression. that most people's expression has the reactions involved inside. Reactions is all about ego. Within the reactions, there's hatred, there's resentment, there's all kinds of positive or negative things. But a true expression is coming from a heart full of compassion, coming from a heart full of love, coming from a mind that is already balanced. A balanced mind. When I say the balanced mind or a normal mind, you guys have practiced meditation. Some of you probably have heard about or even practiced Vipassana meditation. This is something frequently mentioned in the Vipassana meditation 10-day retreat. The Vipassana develop your mind, develop a more disciplined mind. So when a reaction hits, you're able to actually separate that reaction with your bodily sensations. You will understand that when the thought comes, simultaneously there is a biological reactions going on inside of your body that which triggers a series of bodily sensations. Some people have the throat like really tensed up. Some people have their stomach contracted. Some people just feel like the all of a sudden their energies are locked up in some place and it's all sucked dry, and it becomes so weak and you feel like your body's dissolving, something like that. When you're doing a spiritual surgical operation in your body and really analyze, not analyzing with your mind, but analyzing with observations, basically. So you're just looking at it from God's perspective, from above, as if you are looking at yourself from somewhere above there, looking at yourself, looking at those, observe those feelings, feel into your feelings. What does that feel like? What kind of texture does it have? What kind of temperature does it have? Is it like a cold? Sometimes you can even see the color. So when you are feeling into those things, you realize, basically the thoughts came to me and I will have certain sensations in my body. And those sensations actually change. You will feel the boundaries around the sensations as if they're like a pound of water or a lake or a river, something. They flow, they change all the time. The energy changes, the sensations actually change. Its depth changes, temperature changes, all the things change. When you realize that the very nature of the nature is change, the most constant thing in the nature is change, then you can separate the thoughts with the bodily sensations. So when you can separate them, you will be able to actually cut the reactions away. One of the things that Vipassana you do is, you will sit there, you got to sit there for like 1 hour, 1.5 hours, sometimes more than 2 hours, depending on which session during the day it is. And some of you might not be able to like sit in one place still for 10 minutes. But imagine you sit there for over 2 hours. That was extreme time. But I think it was just one session. It was like reach about, I think it was the morning session. Maybe you guys correct me if I remember wrong. You will sit there around 2 hours. Imagine that, right? So what does that develop you? What that gives you is a very disciplined mind. When you do that for 10 days, and then you will realize, you start to have the capability of holding your body in place, even when you are feeling so out of the zone. Even you are feeling that you are going to be thrown away by those negative sensations. You will have very disciplined mind around this. No matter how you feel, no matter how intense you feel, you're capable of holding your place, holding your body still in that one place. So with the disciplined meditation practice or whatever the spiritual practice that you found to be useful, stick to that. As the time goes by, you'll realize that you will still express yourself, but at the same time, you have more control over the reactions. Reactions will still come. Reactions will always come. Do not say that one day I'll be free of reactions. I'll just be, no, that's not a fucking fairy tale. We're not talking about a fairy tale here. In a fairy tale, anything like that is probably possible, right? But in reality, it's not going to be like that. Even for the monks, even for the enlightened people, like, Jesus, he had to go to the mountains and separate himself away from the crowds to talk to God. Why is he doing that? Because he was trying to regain the balance of mind, because the world is so fucking crazy on him. And remember, that's almost 2,000 years ago. Without the phone, without the TV, without all kinds of electrical devices, much less amount of people in the world, he still had to do this. Just imagine you have to find some of the spiritual practice, or at least, bring the awareness back to your body all the time. Always remind yourself of that. Otherwise, you're going to lose the balance of the mind. So express yourself. Practice these things and then express yourself. Practice spiritual practices, exercises, and express yourself. Keep practicing. Practice makes perfect, but actually nothing is perfect. So that should, make you feel more relaxed about it already, because you already know nothing is perfect. And you will feel kind of rewarding to every day, to every once in a while, to make some progress in that. Do it in your own pace. Do not force yourself to do something that you really don't want to do, but do something you feel like you need to do. Do something you feel like you must to do. When it comes to expressions, another great example I can give you is from Buddha, 2,500 years ago, when he already became an enlightened man. So he was wandering around the countryside road with his disciples, and he was waiting on the side road. He was waiting for a general who was marching with his army to the Buddha's hometown. So Buddha was waiting on the road for him, and he told the general that nothing makes a man more saddened to see his hometown being attacked and people being slaughtered. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is, even if that's Buddha, it doesn't matter how enlightened you are. It does not mean that you don't express. Actually, you will express even more. Actually, you will feel even more. When you are telling yourself not to express anything, you are actually cutting your feelings. When you are cutting away your feelings, you're not being enlightened anymore. You are actually become a robot, become a machine. This is completely against the purpose of self-awakening. Self-awakening is basically it's a journey during which you get rid of the extra baggage on yourself, the part that does not belong to you, so that your true self can shine. Your true self can be exposed. It has nothing to do with holding your feelings back or something, but actually it's totally the opposite. You will express even more. You become even more intense. You become even more ferocious. If this is something that makes you fear, you're like, oh my God, I'm falling back to who I was anymore, because I feel like I was a violent person. This is something you need to express. You need to express even more. Even when people tell you, hey man, I feel like you just become that old person again. You become so violent. You know what? Do that. And you have, with the spiritual practice, you already have the awareness. With that discipline, that you will develop, you improve your capability of getting rid of the reactions during the process. So keep practicing. You will improve. You are bound to be successful. Just like the Vipassana meditation teacher Goenka said, you are bound to be successful. But make sure you practice and discover your own way. Be inspired. Go ahead being inspired by other people, but make sure you always, cherish and respect your own way and discover your own way and stick to it. So I hope that I I feel that I have explained everything crystal clear here. But if you guys have any other questions, or you feel like I'm not making anything clear, please feel free to ask. I will be more than happy to answer all of your confusions. And I hope you guys stay happy and healthy. And my blah 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 actually just gonna stop here now. Have a nice weekend, guys. Peace. See you next time.